You think manipulators control you because they're smart? But what if the real problem is something inside you that you never knew was missing? Most people ask, how do I stop manipulators? But the deeper question, the one almost no one asks, is this. Why do some people become completely untouchable, while others fall for every tactic without even noticing? Here's the twist. It has nothing to do with intelligence, strength, or experience. In fact, manipulators avoid certain people instantly, not because they're intimidating, but because they carry a quiet, invisible power that shuts manipulation down before it even begins. And if you don't know what that power is yet, that's exactly why you need to hear what comes next. 1. The hidden power of self-respect. Self-respect isn't about arrogance, confidence quotes, or pretending you're untouchable. It's something quieter, deeper, an internal standard for how you allow yourself to be treated. When this inner standard is weak, it becomes surprisingly easy for others to influence you. You second-guess yourself. You tolerate treatment that doesn't feel right. You accept explanations that contradict your intuition, and suddenly you're playing by someone else's rules without even noticing. This video isn't about feeling good or boosting your mood. It's about understanding that self-respect is protection, a psychological shield that stops manipulation before it begins. When you respect yourself, you don't need to fight or argue. You simply stop allowing access to anyone who threatens your peace. 2. The Manipulator's Playbook. Why you are their target. Manipulators don't choose people at random. They look for psychological openings, the small cracks in your self-worth. Gaslighting works because you're already doubting your perception. Guilt-tripping works because you're scared to disappoint. Triangulation works because you crave approval. These tactics rely on the same foundation: your fear of being wrong, disliked, or abandoned. When you don't fully trust yourself, their words feel heavier than they should. Their reactions seem like judgment. Their silence feels like punishment. But here's the truth. Manipulators aren't powerful. They simply understand human insecurity better than most. And when they sense a lack of self-respect, they know they can control the narrative. Because you'll bend before you risk losing them. 3. Your shield. How self-respect disrupts manipulation. Once you build genuine self-respect, the dynamic changes instantly. Manipulation loses its oxygen. No becomes a complete sentence, not something you apologize for. Their disappointment stops feeling like your responsibility. Their approval stops being a reward. Self-respect reminds you that your worth doesn't depend on how someone reacts to you. And this terrifies manipulators. They can't distort the story when you trust your own perspective. They can't destabilize you emotionally when you don't accept chaos as normal. Instead of falling into their traps, you start noticing them. You see the patterns, you feel the shift, and you respond with clarity, not fear. This is what makes self-respect a shield. Not loud, not aggressive, but unbreakable. 4. Practical steps to build your self-respect arsenal. Self-respect is built through consistent actions, not wishful thinking. Start with simple, grounded practices. Journaling to understand your emotional patterns. Mindfulness to stay present when someone tries to trigger you, and small daily boundaries that reinforce your worth. Set goals that challenge you, but don't overwhelm you. Each small achievement is a psychological vote for your capability. And most importantly, practice self-compassion. Without it, you'll judge yourself too harshly to grow. Self-respect isn't perfection. It's choosing yourself, even when you've made mistakes. It's refusing to abandon who you are just to be accepted. Over time, these habits form an internal backbone that no manipulator can bend. 5. Living unmanipulated. Your future self. There is a freedom that comes from becoming truly unmanipulable, a calm, grounded confidence that changes every part of your life. You stop chasing validation. You stop tolerating emotional games. You stop feeling responsible for other people's moods. With strong self-respect, you naturally attract healthier relationships, opportunities, and environments. People treat you better because your energy says, "I know my worth, and I protect it." Your future self isn't louder, tougher, or colder, just clearer. And that clarity is power. So here's the call to action. Start today. Build the self-respect that shields your mind, guards your peace, and ensures no manipulator ever gets the keys to your emotions again. Your life changes the moment you decide you're done being controlled. When you build real self-respect, manipulation stops being a threat and starts becoming something you can see coming from miles away. This is how you protect your peace, your mind, and your future. If this message helped you strengthen your boundaries and your inner clarity, don't just leave with insight. Act on it. Subscribe to Facts Worth for more psychology-based truths that sharpen your awareness and elevate your relationships. Stay grounded, stay aware, and remember, no one can manipulate a person who finally respects themselves.